Hey.
Hey.
Saw you guys as I was driving by. I was wondering what you're up to.
I didn't hear you.
I said I saw you guys as I was going by. I was wondering what you guys are doing.
Oh, we're Jehovah Witness, and we put the literature to the people can see, and if they find something they like it, they can take it.
You're what? You're Jehovah?
Yeah, Jehovah Witness.
What's that?
We are a religion association. We're talking about the kingdom of God coming, and they helping everybody solution the problems of the most of the people. Because sometimes we put faith on the humans, but they promise a lot of things, right? When the new president, doesn't matter in this country or what country, they always promise things. But when they are ready on the power, most of the time they forget to do things. But on the Bible, Jehovah Witness, Jehovah promise things, and most of the things that he make a promise.
You say Jehovah?
Jehovah is the name of the God. That is how we know him. Can you hold it this one? And my cell phone, I have unloaded the Bible too.
Okay.
Yeah, most of we have a Bible on the book, and I have the Bible too, and the.
Oh, so you're talking about something that you think Jehovah?
Then, what religion do you have?
I'm not religious.
You are not religious. What country you are?
What country?
You are from here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
what about you?
I am from Mexico. Mexico.
Yeah.
I came here like 16 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But I ask you, most of the people I talking most of the times is foreign. That is I asking you what country. The name. Most of the people they put the different names to God. Or they call but subjects like the Lord or something like that.
Like what?
Call Lord to God, Lord.
Lord? Okay, your accent is really thick.
Yeah, sorry. To refer to God, but it's like, you have a name, right?
Yeah.
I have a name, and you still be a sir.
And you're saying that his name is?
Jehovah.
Jehovah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How did you determine that Jehovah actually exists?
For simple things, I have a life. Most of the people's, if you see the designs of when the people fly, something like that, they copy that designs from the small insects sometimes, but that insect somebody have to create it. Doesn't appear, and if for you make a design some what is the name? Avion? Plane? Somebody have to make the planes to make a plane, right?
Right.
They don't appear the things like. But if somebody designed a plane, it's obvious somebody designed the insects or my body. Exactly too.
So you're saying
somebody have to create it.
So you're saying you determined that Jehovah actually exists because you exist? And you're saying something had to make you?
Yeah. Because most people they think a lot of people they thinking on the evolution, but the evolution is like the theory is like everything happened just for because they have to happen. But it's really that because if you put woods and rocks together, and you can live like 1,000 years, at the end they don't make a house, right?
The rocks?
The rocks and the woods just stay together. Don't make it a house. Somebody have to come in building the rocks and the woods to make a nice house.
Right. And you're saying that the reason you exist is because Jehovah made you. Okay. But how do you know that Jehovah existed to make you?
Because somebody had to do it. It's like
Right, but how do you know it was that? How do you know it was Jehovah?
Because there have to be somebody. It's like I told you, to build the house, somebody have to be on the back of that house, right?
Right, I think right. You're saying because you exist, something had to make you. But my question was, how did you determine that Jehovah existed and could make you?
Because the Bible says that one that he have the power. And if you read the...
It says that in the Bible?
Mm-hmm. You never read the Bible?
I've read some of it. How did you determine that the Bible is true?
Because most of the things they say on the Bible is when you read and analyze the history sometimes, because the history change, right? They depend the people who tell you the history. Is they can tell you some things is true or not true, or I can change the facts. But either the history, you know about the Cyril, the person, Cyril? Cyril, yeah. Is the person who conquered Babylonia a long time ago. Like maybe 600 years ago. It's a long time ago. It's
was
very
that person?
It's a Cyril the conquest. He's the person who come in and conquest Babylonia, and either the Bible and the book of Isaiah, they give the name of Cyril 300 years before Cyril born. So how they know he will be coming and conquest? But the Bible know.
So you're saying the Bible is true. You know the Bible is true because it predicted that this guy was going to
conquest Babylonia.
Conquer Babylon.
300 years before Cyril born. And how they know?
I don't know.
It will be Cyril and the name of the person.
I don't know. How did they know?
Because God, they give the name and they say this person they will do, and they give name not only like maybe somebody appeared. No, the Bible give exactly details.
Okay,
300 years before.
Okay, you're saying you know that the Bible is true because it's written in the Bible that this guy was going to conquer Babylonia.
Mm-hmm.
And you're saying that whoever wrote it got that from Jehovah?
Uh-huh.
But I guess my question is the same. How do you know that Jehovah exists to give that guy the information to write it down?
Because he says that. That
right.
person say Jehovah gave the information. It's like right now we know is God. His name is Jehovah because that is how he say my name is Jehovah. He can give another name, but it's like because there is many gods. But either in the end of the time, that God don't do nothing. They can prove they do this, but this God, his name is Jehovah. On the end, he proved with the things is like the things he say is true. But we know we have to read the Bible. If we don't know read the Bible, it's like probably we thinking it's not true. But when you start to reading the Bible, because when I listen a lot of things too, it's like say, how you know? And they told me exactly the same. If you start to read the Bible, you start to relate a lot of things and you see it's true. If you have questions.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to really answer my question. Okay, so you said that Jehovah made you, and he told whoever wrote that down that this guy was going to conquer Babylon. And you're saying because of those two things, you know that Jehovah exists.
But that is most...
But, and you're saying Jehovah did both of those things. But how do you know there was a Jehovah to do them?
Because I told you, in the Bible I learned is him.
Yeah, I know, but how do you know there was a him for the Bible to be talking about?
Because it's I don't know another person he have the power enough to do that one.
But I'm still, how do you know that it, I don't understand how you know it exists to cause you to be here and that guy to write down that thing?
Because I believe.
How do you know it is actually there?
For that things, like I told you, it's like I believe.
Ladies for the next 45 minutes.
Hi, good morning. Don't worry. How are you?
Oh, excellent. I don't worry about anything.
That's wonderful. Enjoying the day.
Well, thank you for talking to me.
Yeah, we have places on the internet. They can explain probably a little bit better. And you learn in English because sometimes it's like it's a little bit hard because English is not my main language to explain everything. It's like that. Probably they cost me a little bit more work to explain the things you want to
Well, hey, it
know.
was nice meeting you.
Have you a theological question you need answered?
Why, are you a theologian?
Some.
Oh, you are?
Some.
Oh, sure, yeah. I'll ask you the same question I was asking her. She said she was out here to talk about Jehovah.
Yahweh.
She said Jehovah. I
Well,
don't know.
Yahweh's his name.
I don't know. She said Jehovah.
Different pronunciation. Yeah.
Yahweh is his name.
Oh, then I don't know. Maybe we weren't talking about the same thing. She said Jehovah.
So Jehovah is a.
Is it the same thing?
It is the same. It's a gross mispronunciation of his name. But yeah. I prefer
Oh,
to
it's just
call
how you
by
pronounce it? Oh, so she's just saying Jehovah and you're saying Yahweh, but you're pronouncing the same word?
Yahweh is the Jewish pronunciation.
Oh, okay. Well, fine. So I guess if you're talking about the same thing. So the question I asked her was how she determined that Yahweh actually exists.
Well, you could take something as simple as a leaf and just look at the enormous complexity of that.
Complexity of a leaf?
Enormous complexity, even in the simplest things. Like a single cell, for example, is made up of billions of parts. Now, what do you think the possibility is of, say, 2 trillion parts coming together randomly to make something as small as a mouse?
I think that's kind of what she was saying. She used herself. She said because she exists. But to me that doesn't seem to answer the question. You're saying there's this complicated thing. She said it was her. You're saying it's a leaf.
It could be anything.
Right. You're saying there's this complicated thing and something made it. How do you know that Yahweh exists to make the leaf?
The very fact that you exist is proof enough of that. You exist, do you not? I think, therefore I am. Is that not the
I guess
thing?
maybe I could ask it this way.
You are, aren't
So
you?
this stand is there, right?
The stand is there.
Okay.
Man created.
And if we were to all walk away,
And some civilization came up.
No,
This is created by some being. It's self-evident.
oh, that's not what I was going to say. So if we were to walk away, and we come back, and the stand is gone, would you agree that at that point we don't know what happened to the stand? If all we know is we're standing here.
I agree that we don't know what happened to the stand.
Okay,
but I could not agree that it wasn't there.
Right.
Because with a simple chromatography test, you could test the footprint of the ground to see that it was there.
And we saw it.
one time.
We're here. We see it. But then we leave and come back and it's gone. At that point, without more information, we don't know what happened to it, right?
No, you don't know what happened.
All right. But what if I say?
But you know it was there, and you know it was made by something,
Right.
somebody.
But what if I say, you know what? I think I know what happened to the stand. I think a ghost took it.
Well,
Would you agree that?
Well, I
before
deny the existence of ghosts, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, well, hold on. But let's just say I say that, right? I say, hey, you know what, sir? I think what happened to the stand is a ghost came along and took the stand. You, before you let me say that, you're going to say to me, well, first of all, show me that there's a ghost, and then show me that a ghost can move a stand, right? You're going to ask that of me before you believe me that a ghost took the stand.
Right.
I guess that's the question I'm asking. You're saying, she's saying she's there. You're saying the leaf is there. And I'm asking, and you're saying that God made both of them. My question is, how do you know there's a God to make the leaf and her?
Because it's some things you can see, but it's like the air you breathe. You can see it. You can touch it.
The air?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. What?
But you still breathe it.
I'm breathing the
Yeah.
air?
Yeah.
No, that's a fallacy. He can't feel it when the wind blows it.
But you can see it.
The air?
Uh-huh.
I can't see the air?
You can see. You can see how is the texture, how they lose, but you feel it every day, and you breathe
I feel air, yeah.
Same is with that. You can see it.
You can?
But no. But
when you say can, I can't tell if you're saying can or can't. Because your accent.
She's trying to say can't.
Can't.
But English is not a problem.
You're saying I can't feel the air.
But you still know they exist.
But I know the air is there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Same is with God. You can see it, but you know He still, because it's like He say, if you and me, we are not here. The simple question is, we are exist because if we don't appear for the nothing, like I told you before, is like we are not casualty. We are designed for somebody, and
So you're
that
saying-
person is.
You're saying I can't see the air, but I know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Even
And-
if you go back and see the simplest one single-celled organism, or the smallest atom,
Yeah.
the smallest atom is 1 part hydrogen and 1 part oxygen. I mean, no, it's 1 electron and 1 neutron. 1 neutron and 1 electron.
Okay.
Hydrogen.
Right.
Okay. Now, what did it take to create that? It took an enormous amount of energy to create that.
I have no idea.
One simple atom. It took 200 billion megs of energy to create that one small atom with 2 parts.
I have no idea, but
Now, what's energy?
I don't know.
Energy is a motive force. And what created the motive force in the first place? That's the entity we call God, they call Jehovah, and I call Yahweh. It
but I'm
comes
still
from the
confused.
single source.
You just added another thing. You just said God made the energy. She said God made her, and you said God made the
Well,
leaf.
what are we after all?
But my question is
bundles
like
of
the
energy?
thing. Like before I say a ghost took that thing, you're going to say prove to me that there's a ghost.
Prove to you that there's energy.
I guess that's my question. You're saying God did these 3 things,
Mm-hmm.
All right.
but you haven't shown me that there's a God to do the 3 things. That's what I'm missing. That's what I don't understand.
It's like what I tried to explain you before. Is like
Well,
to make a plane,
I
to
think
make
that's
a
what you
car,
call
somebody
faith.
have to design it.
What is it?
It's
That's
faith.
what you would have to call faith, the belief in
Faith?
something you cannot see.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But that you know deep inside you that it's there. You have to know that God
Faith?
is
What
there.
is faith? What is this?
Faith is knowing without sight, knowing without seeing.
Knowing without seeing.
That's faith. That's what Paul calls faith.
Okay, so
See,
you're saying
these guys and I differ drastically on a lot of different things, but we both see that there is a motive force behind the entire universe. And the universe is all we can know anything about. But what scientists would call the Big Bang, I call Yahweh. The beginning of everything that we know. The beginning of everything we can observe.
right. That's what.
And even Einstein agreed that
What
there
were you
had to
saying
be a
about
motive
faith, though?
force.
You lost me on the faith part.
All right.
Faith
Faith is simply belief in something that you cannot
can
see.
see.
Believe in
That's all.
something you
It's
can't
faith on
see.
the things you can see.
Right.
Okay.
Faith,
Why would I believe in something I can't see?
Like I told you, the air.
you believe that you're alive,
breathe?
don't you?
Yeah, but I can see that.
No, you can't.
Well,
Okay, do you believe you have a soul? Or do you
I
believe
don't
you're
think
just
so.
simply a
I don't
collection
know what that
of...
means, but what do you mean by soul?
Okay, soul is a combination of energy, of free energy, and solid matter.
I have both of those things, I think.
And you're apparently alive,
Right.
so that would make you a living soul.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess. Yeah.
So I guess
okay.
you're a soul.
Okay.
We don't have a soul, we are a soul. That's one place where we disagree. You think you have a soul, right?
Yes.
I don't. I think we are a soul.
Are you guys the same religion?
No.
No. I think you're.
And you're
accused,
saying,
No, I'm non-religious. I'm completely non-religious.
right? Oh, okay.
I don't believe in religion.
You
But
believe
I
in
do.
God.
But I do believe in the existence of God. Yes.
do you believe in the same God, you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah. We just call it. I call him by his proper name. That's all.
Oh, okay.
It's like I think it's different pronunciation, but it's still the same person. It's like. Which one is your name?
Personage. It's a personality, not a person.
Because sometimes your name in Spanish is one and English is another one.
My name is Don.
Don. Okay, maybe in Spanish that Daniel.
Donaldo.
Donaldo.
Donaldo would be,
Okay.
would be the Spanish equivalent.
Yeah, it's like probably in the language you make the pronunciation is a little different, but we're talking about the same God.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for talking to me.
Did my conversation help you at all?
I don't think you guys answered my question, but I appreciate it.
We try to answer, but probably it's not the answer you're
Yeah,
expecting.
I guess I'm still. You're saying God did these things, just like I said, a ghost did that thing. But you haven't
be a
shown me
ghost
the
or
God.
Even if
Before you can
even
say
if
God
a ghost,
made her.
Even a ghost,
Don't you
even
have
if
to
a ghost did it, it would still be through the agency of God, because there would have to be a pre-existent cause to be a ghost.
No, I'm saying, I just think that if you're gonna say that God made her or a leaf, you got to show me there's a God first before you can say that God made the leaf. That's what I'm missing. I still haven't heard how you came to know that the God actually exists.
Because we have, like he told me,
That's
we have
something
the
you
faith
just have
and
to
he
take on
exists.
faith.
That's the faith part.
That's
That's where I got lost there too. But yeah, I get that. That's the faith part.
Faith is a belief in something you cannot see, but that is readily apparent.
Is there anything you can't believe on faith?
Well, I mean,
Like
if
there are
you
lots of
see
things
that
I
rock,
can't see.
If you see that rock, that's not faith. You can see that it's there.
Right,
Yeah.
but I can't see
with your
like
physical eyes.
I can't see what's happening in
Well, you cannot
Jamaica
see
right
you cannot see your ancestors, but do you believe they exist?
I don't know whether they exist or not, but
Well, if they existed at one time, do you believe that they existed?
I know my mom exists.
Do you know their grandparents
I met
existed
my
before that,
grandparents.
and your great grandparents before
Never
that?
met my great grandparents.
That's not the question.
Oh,
The question is, do you believe that they existed, but you've never seen them?
I'm told that they exist.
No, like
But do you believe that they existed?
I don't have any reason. Yeah, I guess probably I do think I had great grandparents.
That's faith, because you haven't seen your great
Yeah, but
grandparents.
there's evidence of my great grandparents.
But there's evidence all around it in the existence of God. It's the same. It's the precise same evidence. There's just one you're taking on faith because somebody told you so, and another one you're not willing to take on faith because somebody told you so. Because
But if somebody's telling me,
it comes up a force prima, a beginning. Everything has to have a beginning. Now, where did the Earth come from? The Earth came from a massive supernova that exploded and put matter into this what we call solar system now, billions of years ago. None of us saw that happen. No one was around to see it, but we know that it happened because the evidence is here. And every atom, from the simplest atom to protactinium, which is the most complex we know right now, which is 121.
Matt, you've really lost me.
Has 121
I was
protons
asking.
and nuclei.
I was asking, is there anything you can't believe on faith?
That's what I'm trying to explain.
You're saying that you can believe anything on faith?
Without faith, yes, because you see it.
Well, I mean, if you see something, it doesn't require faith.
Yeah, no, but like I can think of lots of things I've never seen, like
Okay, you can believe in the existence of good and evil, but
I've never seen I've never seen Bigfoot, but can I believe that Bigfoot exists on faith?
That would be faith.
I've never seen the Loch Ness Monster, but could I believe that the Loch Ness Monster exists on faith? But could I do it on faith?
A lot of people
You
believe
have
that
faith
on
on
faith.
the exist.
A lot of people believe that on faith, and that's what faith is. The belief.
What about like the
actually
people that
seeing.
like? So you said you're Jehovah.
Yeah,
And
What
I
about?
just say his
And
name,
are
Jehovah.
you guys Muslim? No. Okay. What about Muslims? Like, don't
Muslims
they use faith
call him
too?
Allah, and they believe in the same God, but they have a different approach.
Are they using faith?
They're using faith,
So they're using faith, and you're using faith,
and these guys are using
and you guys are using faith. You two agree. Do you agree with the Muslims
faith in certain areas.
in all of it?
No, not in all areas. I don't agree with these guys in all areas. I don't agree with the next door neighbor in all areas.
But if
we
faith
do
can give you-
agree in the existence of the God of Abraham. Yes, all three of us. They do.
What about,
I do, and the Muslims.
What about like Hindus?
Hindus also believe in Abraham.
They do?
Yes.
Okay. So
Now,
all
when you go farther back than that, I don't know. You know, the other religions. I think there are other religions that don't. But to the Muslims and to most of your Buddhists, Christ was a messenger to them. He's only a messenger. To these guys, he's the center of all things. To me, he's the son of the living God. And that's through faith. My gospel is the gospel of Paul, and that's entirely through faith.
faith
theirs is the gospel of the Hebrews.
faith is believing.
And it's entirely through faith.
And faith is believing something you can't see.
Faith is in believing it's something you can't see, but somewhere
But
in
you
your
said,
thought
I thought you
process
said at the beginning you can see it in a leaf.
No, you can only see the effects. You can see the effects of it in a leaf. You can see.
But
you can't see
that's
the
the
force
point I was
prima.
making. That's the point I was
You cannot see the force prima
I know.
any more than you can see an atom with your naked eye.
making. Right, but that's the point I was making. When I asked her, how do you know that, how did you determine that God exists? She said her. But that's just the
Because
effect
I am
of
exist.
the effect of it.
That's an effect.
Yeah, but that's just the effect of it, right? And you said that doesn't really prove it.
Right.
And you're saying what proves that God exists is faith? Or I'm confused. I maybe got that wrong.
That's not
You
even
can see
exactly.
God.
If you're looking
But
for
you see that
absolute,
things he do
wait
it for you.
a minute. Well, because that's a fallacy too. Because he could argue that that's pure luck. All right.
That
We want
what, that
something
what's
to-
pure luck?
Good things happening to you. That's
No,
a
no,
fallacy.
I don't say the good and the bad things. I say because you exist, I exist. We have a planet to live. Like somebody have to build in this planet. It's like doesn't appear just for casual.
So looking at it from his point of view, that proves nothing. That only proves the existence of the earth.
Right. That's exactly what I was confused. Yeah.
My motivation goes a little deeper than that. You're going to lose your umbrella. Anyway, you do believe that energy exists. Nobody's ever seen what energy actually is, but you do believe it exists, right? You take that on faith.
Well, I use energy to move the
Well,
bike, I guess, but
You use the effects of energy. You don't use the energy itself. No, nothing that man has built so far puts energy to use in its purest form. The closest we come is about 5% with the uranium breeder reactor, or maybe a thorium reactor. You might use 5% of the mass of the energy.
I don't know what any of that is. But, okay.
But the standard nuclear reactor uses as little as 1% in the form of heat to heat up water, to turn turbines, and to generate electricity.
Okay. I'm
But
lost on what that has to do with. I thought we were talking about faith.
The same thing that motivates your body to move also causes a turbine to move. It causes the water to heat up.
Yeah.
It create energy, create more energy.
Okay.
It all comes from energy,
Yeah.
a pool of energy.
Okay.
The universe is just a gigantic pool of energy. Now you have to ask yourself, where did that energy come from in prima facie?
I have no idea.
That's where the faith comes in.
Faith comes in to say what?
Say that, okay, I believe energy exists. That energy we call God. That energy called God created
God is energy?
the motivating force that created the universe. And the universe in turn creates life. And life in turn recreates itself every time someone gives birth. And every time a plant grows or a seed drops on the ground. It's all energy.
You're saying God is energy?
I'm saying God created energy. God is the motivated force.
Right,
behind
but
the creation
that
of
sounds exactly like you're saying God created
But it
her.
is. It has to be a circular argument because we weren't actually there when it was created. So it has to be a circular argument. There's no such thing as an argument that's completely closed. I mean, it's an open-ended giant circle. Because you weren't there when matter was created. Neither were I. Neither was I,
Right.
or anyone we know.
Right.
So we have to take that on faith that it happened. But we see the effects
It doesn't
of
seem like a very reliable way. Because
That's
it
the
seems
most.
like you keep, like different people are
Is
using
there is there any more reliable way you could explain it, or any way you could explain your existence,
I don't know.
or even the bike you're on? It was created by somebody.
Yeah.
It's created. In a
Well,
factory.
I built this bike actually.
No,
With the parts that
you
I
put
bought.
together parts that were built in factories.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the talk. Nice meeting you
I
all.
hope it illuminated a little bit anyway.
Have a nice day.
All right, you too.